Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're getting super late start, like a super late start. It is 11 o'clock at night right now. So if you guys watched Tuesday's video, you know that we did all the rust repairs and we did all that stuff, and it is the same day, the same night. And if you didn't watch that video, we basically took care of all the rust outside of where the fender flares are gonna cover. And we did all the Bondo and the sanding and all that stuff. We got it all prepped, but we were like, why would we paint this and prime it and stuff if we're just gonna come back and hack at it and put the flares on? So we called it quits. We ended the video a little bit early or late. And right now, today, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be installing the fender flares. And the reason we're doing this, the way it's gonna go, so it's gonna be like tonight and tomorrow, but the reason we're doing it this way is because the flares are plastic. And the plastic takes a different kind of Bondo than the car does. So the car takes like a metal to metal Bondo. The plastic takes a plastic one that's flexible so it doesn't break if like the actual flare bends a little bit. So we're putting it on tonight and it takes more time to cure. So basically the goal is get these guys mounted tonight, then tomorrow we can come back and do all the sanding and the fine tuning and, you know, painting and all that kind of stuff. But we want to get them on now before we go to bed and go home. That way they can dry overnight and have like a good solid cure. And tomorrow we don't have like this stupid chunk of time in the middle of the day that we're wasting just kind of trying to figure everything out. So before we get into the whole video, this Saturday, July 14th, we are going to go to Stance Wars. So pull up if you guys want to see. Me and Emerson are going to be out there. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not in the like show, but we're going to be there. So if you guys are in the area or you're not doing anything Saturday, July 14th, pull up, say hi. I'd love to see you guys out there. And for all my boys at Fitment, I hope you guys are watching this right now. You guys are getting a mad plug right now. What's the back? Oh, I'm an idiot. It's so necessary tonight. It's been such a long day and we're gonna be here all night long. All right, let me show you guys what we did. I'm sure most of you saw this. And first and foremost, you guys, one second, go back on the tripod. Hold on. You guys always bug me and say, use Twitter, do on Twitter, go on Twitter, all this kind of crap, okay? And to me, Twitter's dead. I told you guys, I don't really use Twitter, I don't really care. But you guys are always bugging me like, hey Robbie, use Twitter, use Twitter, use Twitter. So I tried to plug my Twitter on Instagram the other day and I was like, if you guys get 1,000 likes, there's 3,000, almost 4,000 of you guys on my Instagram. I was like, if 1,000 of you go over to Twitter and like this, I'll show you what the wheels look like on the Civic. What'd you guys do? You didn't come through. You guys have one chance. I'm not gonna hard plug this because I don't really care about Twitter. But if you guys wanna see me use it, right now is your chance. You guys gotta go on there, follow me, and if I start getting a decent following on there, I'm gonna use it. If I don't, so be it. The Civic is in complete disarray. All day we've been at this, just sanding and bondoing and doing all this stuff. So if you guys didn't see it, we did like the holes here, down there we did one. We got the on the windshield. That's not the windshield. I told you guys it's late. Game plan for tonight, get the flare mocked up, drill it, cut the fender, mount it, and then do the Bondo, and then let it dry overnight. Which sounds easy, might not be that easy. These were $49 on Wish, and the only reason they were so much, which I know is not that much, but the only reason they were so much is because I got the bigger size, because I didn't want the small ones because they look kind of janky. They're literally just the classic fender flares. We're gonna mold them so they don't look ugly and tacky with the pop rivets. It's gonna be nice when it's done. You gonna get up, mate? Let's make some progress. Look at your white knees. It's looking too much. The first thing we gotta do is take these off because the flares are huge and they're gonna hit there. So we're gonna rip these off. You can see they're too big for the arch. So they basically just have to go like this, which if anything just gives us more stance, which is fine. Look at all the dirt. It's so gross. Look, the mud flap in behind the mud flap, there is just mountains of dirt and leaves and just nasty, like spider web. You wanna do the honors, mate? I'm actually stoked that we're doing this though. Like, this is cool. This is something that people always wanna do, like wide body their cars. And I know it's just a budget build, but like, it's still sick to do. It just goes right through the plastic, like the metal's nothing, the plastic is... So basically we're just gonna drill those out and then put the fender on, mark it on the body, take it off, and cut the fender. And it's cool because we have we have an idea, everybody has an idea of like how to do this, but we don't really know what we're doing. And same thing with the Bondo and stuff, like the bodywork. We had an idea, but we had no, like we'd never done it before, we had no experience. So it's super cool to be able to do these things. I don't know, I'm just excited to cut the fenders. You know, it's like, yeah, it's the Civic and yeah, it's just flares, but like, it's so cool to be able to just like cut the fenders and do like a custom kind of wide body. It's like, it's something everybody wants to do, and it's just, I'm just like thankful that you guys gave me this opportunity to do this. I appreciate you. Yo, this is gonna be so sick. This is gonna be so cool. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I just want to mold it out because I hate when these things have been on here for a while and they start to warp from the sun and they peel away from the body and they look like ass.
Wish wide body.
Full send, wish wide body. $50 wish wide body. I'm excited because people, when we got this car, people were like, oh, you're gonna rice it, it's gonna be rice. And when we're done, they're gonna be like, holy shit, they did a damn good job. You guys have no idea how excited I am to do this. This is literally, all I want to do is just cut fenders, and you guys made this possible. Do you want to do the first little bit, and then I'll come in and save your ass? Give her, buddy. So what we're doing is basically just a recreation of every YouTube video me and Emerson have ever watched where people like rocket bunnying or wide bodying their cars. And to our knowledge, this is what is best for us to do. So like we cut stress cuts at first, and then basically we cut the front layer of metal off, folded, because there's like two panels, there's a backside and a front side. We folded the backside up and around. We don't have a welder, and that's part of like the budget build, so we're gonna Bondo this as well. And I know a lot of people weld it. I know like even some big people don't weld it, they just do whatever they can to make it work. But we're not gonna weld this because we can't. But we have the metal to metal Bondo, so what we're gonna do is basically, if you look up here now, the gap is closed, right? So nothing can fly up in between these two panels and get stuck up in there and cause rust or whatever. So these came up, folded here. We're gonna Bondo basically this gap closed. That way it's like it used to be and it's seamless and there's nothing can get in between. And then we're gonna mount the fender on top of that. And I know a lot of people even on YouTube just leave theirs wide open, which is fine, but over time you're gonna get buildup and stuff in there, and then you're just like asking for rust and problems to come. To an extent, if we can get it right on the budget build, I'm happy. Sanded down all this, it's all ready to go. So he's just gonna mix up some Bondo, make it pretty.
Oh, hopefully we have enough.
Oh, we'll have enough. If not, we'll get some in the morning.
It is the morning. 1:26.
Damn, dude. We're gonna be here till at least 4. So we got the iced coffees. So this is all Bondoed and dried to seal this gap. And then we just basically bonded over the front just to seal up these little pieces here. And I'm just gonna sand this. He's gonna do the relief cuts on this side and get started here. So we were so confused last time we were cutting the fender in the car, smelled like fire.
Holy shit, look at this side.
Is it smoky?
Open very much, ready?
The camera doesn't see it, it's just covered. So like in there is where we're cutting. That's the fender well, and it's just smoking up and in through the light holes and just filling the back of the car. Because both sides have an opening, like that side's wide open and this side's missing the light, so it's just filling the car with smoke. I'm just showing you we sanded down like the fenders after Emerson put the Bondo on there to seal everything up. So now that it's all sealed, we went ahead and just screwed the flare to it. And then Emerson's going around right now and he's actually just covering the holes with the stuff that we needed to put on tonight, which is the whole reason we stayed here all night to do this. Because this stuff takes up forever to dry. Once he's done that last one, we're going home. It's aggressive. It is really, I'm super stoked for it to actually be like finished and molded and stuff. It is gonna look so good. That is what time we were here till last night, or this morning. We're back at it this morning, and now that we have clear heads and we've slept a little bit, we have a game plan, and the game plan is we're gonna take the sander and basically just rough up this lip here all the way around, and then rough up just a little bit on the body, and we're gonna use this plastic stuff, and we're just gonna cover like a little bit of the fender, because the plastic, like we were saying last night, it bends with this. But the metal Bondo, like this stuff, if it goes on here and this warps, it'll just crack off, which will ruin the whole job. So we're gonna go around, rough up the edge, and like seal this gap with the plastic stuff, and then go just a little bit onto here, and then we'll put the metal Bondo on top of all of it, because the metal stuff will stick to this, but it won't stick to the actual plastic. I don't know, I'm excited to have it done. Now that it's morning and I'm not so tired, I'm like super stoked on how it's looking. It looks unreal. I'm sure this video's had a lot of talking, so let's just keep working. I never liked those being there anyways. Just gonna get a plate relocator or maybe keep rocking no plate. Throw me a disc.
Swipe to this.
This is the Bondo that you guys saw us using yesterday. This is like the metal to metal stuff. I picked up this from Canadian Tire. It's just a bumper repair kit, and it's literally just like these two squeeze bottles. One is a hardener and one is an activator. And that's what gives you like the plastic Bondo kind of thing. So this is Emerson. After I sanded this, I sanded it up. That way when the Bondo goes on here, it has something to adhere to. And then Emerson went around and just kind of filled the crack and everything with this stuff. We're gonna let them all dry, and then we're gonna come back, sand them down a bit, and then hit them with the Bondo to kind of just like, this one, the front ones especially, you have to fill this little gap right here. There's a pretty big gap. So we're gonna come around and hit it and then mold it, all that with the Bondo. The only thing that sucks with this stuff is that it takes a couple hours to dry. So the Bondo takes like 5-10 minutes and it's like rock hard. This stuff, you're supposed to leave it for like an hour or two. So we're gonna do all the fenders, go eat, even though it's like dinner time, we need to eat lunch. And then we're gonna do that, go eat, come back, sand it. We're doing a lot this weekend. We fit a lot into this weekend. Yesterday we put in 17 hours straight at the shop, just doing this. And then today we've been here not as long yet, but I'm anticipating some more length. Chef Emerson just whipping up the paste. You gotta show him how to flick the wrist. Do it, do the wrist flick. Oh, this is just creamy, dude.
Aerodynamics, right? That's how
the top isn't good.
you know?
The top isn't good either.
No, this is part of it.
The sun is sinking on another day of bodywork. It literally looks like we left this car out in a snowstorm. Like, it's so gross. I'm so excited to just foam cannon the crap out of this thing. As far as dusting it for tonight, we're just gonna basically clean the areas that we need to primer and then leave the rest, and we'll just wash it once we're done. But we need to get all the dust and stuff off, obviously, to primer over it. So that's just what we're gonna do. Then we're gonna put the drop cloth over the rest of the car pretty much and just get it done. And then tomorrow, probably tomorrow, we'll come back and paint. And it's not gonna be perfect. That's the thing with this. Like, it's gonna have some imperfections, because this was the first time we've ever done this. We didn't, like, we have an idea, obviously, like I've said the whole time, but like literally the first time we've ever done this. And I mean, we spent a full day today, like literally all day long, sanding and bondoing and sanding and bondoing and trying to get it as good as we can. But I'm sure once we paint it, you'll see imperfections that you couldn't see with the Bondo. That's okay, because we're not painting the car yet. So my theory is we do it, we paint it, we find the imperfections, and then when we go to paint the car, like down the road, when we're going to actually paint the car, we can come back to this and revisit any little imperfections or spots that look a little bit wonky. But for now, we're just gonna call this done. I mean, for us, it looks pretty good. The only thing that we can think to do is just paint it and see how it looks. And as far as the lines, we kind of just seamed the bumper to the car for now. We're not gonna cut the actual fender because we kind of had to bend it in, like you guys saw. It like stuck out to here, and we had to like bend it, and we want it to like adhere and dry and be rock hard before we slice right through. So for now, we're probably gonna cut up to the fender and just open that up and then leave the fender just over the rest. And that's on all four corners. And then if we ever need to take it off, or we ever decide we wanna change something out or whatever, we'll just take the saw and just go right through. But for now, we're just gonna bring it up to here and then just kind of leave it. We're obviously gonna make it look a little bit nicer than that, but ow, that was heavy.
That's solid.
Oh, let's prime it so I can go home and get some sleep. Snip, 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 snip. Whoop. We're using it's just a high build primer. Basically, it's like thicker than just regular paint. That way, whenever there's little imperfections like that tiny little dot, you can see right there, maybe, that little dot. You can't even feel it, but this will fill it. That way, everything's smooth once we're all done. If you're ever doing body work or doing anything like this, always get yourself high build primer. We're also priming inside the fenders and on top, because we did a bunch of body work inside the actual fenders when we cut and fixed all the inside, so we gotta prime on both sides. So the back ones actually turned out not too bad. It's like there was no real body line here to work off of. We just kind of threw them on and they molded pretty well. Like both back ones look pretty good. It's what we're having issues with right now is the front. So if you look right here, it was impossible to tell that we didn't build this up out enough. But you can see right here, like this is the fender line, and then that's our new fender. And you can see that it's not molded right in the front. In the back, it doesn't look horrible because like it curves pretty well. But as we got towards the front, we didn't fill it enough. So it's not round the way we want it to be. We want it to be nice and seamless, like nice and smooth over the edge. And it's like that on both sides. And this side's just as bad. You can see right here, like the difference in the body line. But like we said the whole time, like we're not professionals. We really didn't know what we were doing. We're just doing our best. So, I mean, I literally just told you guys we were gonna have to paint it and see, but we're calling the primer right now. We're just gonna stop with the primer because it's gonna need more work. It needs more body work. It needs more time. It needs more everything. Like we just need to do another day of fixing this, which sucks because it's Sunday night and tomorrow's Monday, so we don't have like a day to do this. But basically we're gonna call it for tonight. Tonight we're done with this. We're not gonna be able to keep going. We gotta go home and go to bed. We're just gonna have to come back tomorrow after work and just keep going at it and see how fast we can get it done. Not fast, but we can't leave it in the shop forever. So we gotta fix it, get it done, get it ready, get it out of here. Pretty much gonna end this video, which sucks. It ended a lot more abruptly than I wanted to. We didn't really get to finish, but that's okay because tomorrow we'll come back. I guess Saturday's video for you guys now will be us finishing this. Kind of bummed right now. And like we want to do it right. Like I've told you this 100 times. We want to do it right. I'm sorry that we just kind of, bless you. I'm sorry that we just kind of cut it like that. We don't want to half-ass this. We want to do it properly. So we're going to have to just come back. I hope you guys are stoked to see this finished because I'm really excited to see this finished. I was hoping we'd be able to finish it up tonight. I'll catch you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.